as it is high time to file quarterly return of Form 24Q for the fourth quarter. And being a compliance expert, you must be finding it hectic to issue Form 16 with the latest updates issued by Traces, even after knowing how to do it. But it becomes rather easy when you understand each and every column of Form 16, as every year some new columns has been added and some got removed. If you want to get fully aware of Form 16, then this video is for you. Hello everyone, my name is Saloni from Webtel, and today in this video, I am going to explain you Form 16 in detail, starting from different heads, the Part A and Part B of Form 16, their meaning, important details to be included and excluded, and much more. So stay tuned. We all know that Form 16 is an essential certificate issued to an employer by an employer to certify that TDS has been deducted and paid to the government. It is mandatory for the employer to issue Form 16 right after the financial year on or before by 15th of June of the following year of tax deduction, so that a detailed breakdown of the salary and the TDS deducted amount can be presented or furnished. But just to know that what is Form 16 and how to fill it is not enough for an accountant like you. Therefore, it becomes necessary to have detailed knowledge about the important parts of Form 16, which is Part A and Part B. To understand the same, let's look at the columns of Part A. So this is the Form 16 generated by Traces department, and this is the Part A of Form 16. Here the certificate number of Form 16 will reflect, as after the filing of Form 24Q, a certificate number will be provided to each and every employee. So in this column, the certificate number of each and every employee will reflect over there. Then last updated on the date on which the Form 16 has been downloaded will reflect. Then the name and address of the employer will reflect in this column. Name and address of the employee will reflect over there. Then the PAN of the deductor, TAN of the deductor will reflect. PAN of employee will reflect in this column for Form 16. In case of PAN not available, employer will provide a unique reference number, and in this column the reference number which has been provided by employer will reflect. Then CIT TDS, which is the Commissioner of Income Tax Department. So for any queries and doubts related to TDS, you can contact to this address. Then the assessment year for which the Form 16 has been generated will reflect over there. Period with the employer for which the Form 16 has been downloaded will reflect. Then the summary of amount paid, credited, tax deducted and deposited will reflect in these columns. So in the first column, quarters will reflect. Then the receipt number of original quarterly statement of TDS will reflect in this column. So here we need to know what is the receipt number of original returns. So after the filing of Form 24Q, a unique receipt number will be provided by the Traces department. So in this column, the receipt number which has been generated by Traces will reflect for each and every quarter. Then amount paid, credited. In this column, the amount on which the tax has been deducted and deposited will reflect over there. Then the amount of tax deducted amount will reflect. Amount of tax deposited will reflect over there, and the total of each and every column amount will reflect in the total column. Then the detail of tax deducted and deposited. In case of any central government or government deductors, the detail will reflect in these columns. So here we need to know what is the meaning of book identification number. So firstly we need to know what is BIN. So basically BIN is a book identification number, and that has been termed mandatory for government deductors who are reporting TDS without payment through bank challans. And BIN number will be used in case of government deductors only. BIN number consists of receipt number, of 24G, DDO serial number in 24G and date of transfer voucher. So a receipt number of form 24G will reflect over here, and here we need to know what is form 24G. What is the meaning of form 24G we are talking about here? So form 24G is a form that is required to be filled by PAO, or you can say Pay and Accounts Office, District Treasury Office in case of central government. And form 24G is a form that carries all the information of TDS deducted, and this form will be used for the processing of the TDS, and the AO has to submit the details to the DDO, and these details will reflect in this column. Then a DDO serial number here we need to provide. So here we need to know what is the meaning of DDO serial number. So DDO is a drawing and disbursing officer who has a right to withdraw the money from treasury of government, and a serial number will be provided to each and every DDO. So in this column the serial number will reflect. Then the date of transfer voucher. So here the date on which the amount has been transferred will reflect over there. Then the status of matching with form 24G will reflect. Here a status will be generated, like in case if you have done a book entry, then a status will reflect over there. So you can check the status of your book entry with your form 24G. In this column, detail of tax deducted and deposited in central government account through challan will reflect over here, or you can say the amount which has been deposited through challan will reflect over there. So here challan identification number details will reflect. So here we need to know what is the meaning of challan identification number over there. So challan identification number is a number which is generated by a combination of BSR code of the bank where tax is deposited, date of deposit, challan serial number allotted by the bank. Here you will be able to see a serial number column, then you will be able to see a tax deposited column. Here the total amount which has been deposited by the deductor will reflect. Then BSR code of the bank branch will reflect. Then the date on which tax has been deposited will reflect over there. Then the challan serial number which has been generated by the bank will reflect in this column. Then the status of matching with ALTAS will reflect. And in this column, F will reflect, O will reflect, P will reflect, and U will reflect. So to check the status, what is the meaning of F, O, P and U, you can go to the legends which are mentioned below in the form 16 part A. So if you are able to see the status as a U, which means unmatched, and unmatched status means in case the details are not correctly filed by the deductors, like tax has not been deposited, or few details are not correct like the date of challan number, etc. Then you will be able to see a status as a P, which means provisional. So P refers to provisionally booked challan in case of government deductors. Then you will be able to see the status as a F, which means final. And final refers to here in which the payment details of TDS deducted and deposited in bank must have matched with the details mentioned by the deductor in the filed returns. Then you will be able to see the status as a O, which means overbooked. And here overbooked of challan means in case the amount is claimed more than the actual amount deposited by the deductor. Then you will be able to see a verification over here, like the details of the responsible person who has generated form 16. Place of the form 16 will reflect in this column. Date on which the form 16 has been generated will reflect over there. So this is all about the form 16 part A. This is a form 16 part B. Form 16 part B consists of the details of salary, allowances and other details of the employee. Here you will be able to see the Similar details which has been provided in Form 16 Part A also, like certificate number, last updated on, name and address of the employer, name and address of the employee, PAN, TAN of the deductor, PAN of the employee, CIT details, assessment year for which the Form 16 has been generated, period with the employer will reflect in this column. Then here you will be able to see details of salary paid and other income on which the tax has been deducted, or you will be able to see the computation detail of the employees. Then here comes whether opting for taxation under section 115 BAC. This column would be selected as yes if a person has opted for the new tax regime. Then at point number 1, gross salary amount will reflect, and at point number A, salary which has been provided by the employer will reflect, value of perquisites which has been reported in Form 12BA by the employer will reflect in this column, profit in lieu of salary will reflect in this column, and the total of gross salary amount will reflect over here. Then at point number E, reported total amount of salary received from other employer will reflect in this column. Here we need to understand why it is mandatory to show salary received from other employer. So the salary received from other employer is required over here for the correct calculation of salary and tax, to avoid double exemption claim. Multiple deduction cannot be claimed by the employee. Then here you will be able to see at point number 2 allowances which are not covered in the total of your gross salary, or you can say which are exempted under section 10, like travel concession, death cum retirement, gratuity, commuted value of pension, cash equivalent, and if any HRA is exempt, then the HRA exempted amount will reflect in this column. And then at point number F, those which are not covered above columns will reflect over here, which are exempt as per section 10. And the total amount of any other exemptions like children education allowance, hostel allowance which are exempt under section 10 will reflect in this column. And at point number H, total amount of exemptions claimed under section 10 will reflect over here. Then at point number 3, total amount of salary received from current employer will reflect. Here we need to know what is the meaning of current employer. Basically, here the current employer term is used in case the employee has joined the company in between of the financial year, then the total amount of salary received by him will reflect in this column. Then here comes deductions under section 16, like if a person is receiving standard deduction as per the Income Tax Act, each and every salaried person will be allowed a standard deduction of 50,000. Then that standard deduction amount will reflect over here. Entertainment allowance, if any, then entertainment allowance exemption will be reflecting over here. Professional tax value, if any, will reflect in this column, and the total amount of deductions claimed by employee will reflect at point number 5. And the total income which are chargeable under the salary head will reflect over here. Then at point number 7, add any other income reported by the employee under as per section 192 2B. Here we need to show the incomes which are reported by the employer for the calculation of TDS, or you can say for the calculation of salary. Like if a person is having any loss from house property, then they need to show the loss from house property in this column. Or if any other income is there and on which the TDS has been deducted, they need to show at point number B, and the total of other income reported by the employee will reflect at point number 8. And after totaling of your salary income and other incomes, the total gross income will reflect in this column at point number 9. Then at point number 10, deductions under chapter 6A will reflect the details which are provided as an investment proof by the employer will reflect under chapter 6A, like under section 80C, 80 triple C, CCD, CCD 1B and so on. And we need to provide the breakup of each and every section for the exemption. And why we need to show the breakup of each and every deduction? Because while we are going to file our ITR, it is mandatory to show the exemptions which are claimed, or you can say the deductions which are claimed by any employee under chapter 6A. Similarly, you can provide each and every deduction details, and after that total taxable income would be calculated at point number 12 after calculating your salary income, after calculating your total income which has been received by the employer, and after deducting the amount claimed under chapter 6A will reflect at point number 12 as total taxable income, and the total tax which has been calculated on your total taxable income will reflect at point number 13. If any rebate is applicable, then rebate amount will reflect at point number 14. If surcharge is applicable, then surcharge will reflect at point number 15. Health and education cess at the rate of 4% would be calculated, and the total tax payable by employer will reflect at point number 17. If any exemption, or you can say if any rebate is provided under section 89 will reflect at point number 18, and then the net tax payable by the employer will reflect at point number 19. And at the end, a verification letter will be provided at the end of form 16 part B along with your digital signature. So this is the form 16 part B. By now, it must be clear to you that form 16 part A provide the details of TDS deduction along with the employer's PAN and TAN details and much more. And part B is an annexure of form 16. It is prepared to furnish the pay separations and derivations to the employer to their employer as authorized in chapter 6A. I hope this video has cleared all your doubts regarding what two columns of part A and part B mean, and on which columns you need to pay attention while filling the form 16. But where the real challenge arises is that it seems difficult to get all details and calculations done under one roof. To solve this problem, here I would like to recommend Viptel's Web TDS, which is a proven solution for filing eTDS and TCS returns. Apart from being the one-stop solution for all your TDS or TCS management and e-filing needs, WebTDS provides you with the all detailed regarding Form 16 and even enables you to do calculations along with the direct integration of Traces login. In short, it is not required for you to separately log in and do all the work, as WebTDS gives you directly connectivity with the Traces for filing and sending requests. If you want to know more about the WebTDS solution, then visit the link mentioned in the description below and let us know in the comment section if you have any doubts. Give a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you found this video helpful. Next Tuesday, we will be coming up with another interesting video to make compliances better for you. Till then, stay happy, stay safe and stay tuned with us for a better compliance journey.